After running thousands of different lab tests on my ADHD patients, this is what I have found to be the biggest reasons of their memory issues. Now, there's many reasons of why you have memory issues with your ADHD. And so I've narrowed it down to the most common that I have seen after running all these different labs. And the very first set has to do with the whole neurotransmitter pathway that has to deal with memory and memory recall. And that is vitamin B6, but the activated form of vitamin B6 known as P5P, because this is a very important cofactor for memory recall, motivation, drive, and so many different other things. But another one that I see deficient with my patients when I'm running these tests is vitamin B12, which is a very common one to see deficient that can contribute to memory loss. And so when I see this happening with my patients, what I'll recommend, especially for vitamin B6, is P5P, the activated form, of 10 to 50 milligrams a day, depending on the severity. Now, when it comes to vitamin B12 deficiency, you want to use methylcobalamin, the activated form of vitamin B12. And I'll recommend anywhere from 1,000 to 5,000 micrograms a day. Now, the next one, this is something I will see over and over again. In fact, one of my very first patients had this issue. And it has to do with providing oxygen and nutrients to the brain, because if you don't have enough oxygen and nutrients to the brain, it will contribute to memory issues over time. And one of the biggest deficiencies that I'll see that contributes to this is an iron deficiency, contributing to anemia. And so because of this, when you're deficient in iron, if you're not providing that oxygen nutrient to the brain, there's going to be memory issues. And so when I see this deficiency in the lab test, I'll recommend anywhere from 25 to 50 milligrams of iron a day. Now, my favorite source is usually the plant-based liquid form. It's easier digested. It also doesn't cause the constipation issues when you're taking those iron capsules. Now, this other one plays a huge role in the function of cognitive processing. And so when this specific micronutrient is deficient, it'll impair memory and cognitive function. What I'm referring to is zinc, and people with ADHD tend to be zinc deficient. And so when I see this deficiency, I'll recommend anywhere from 15 to 30 milligrams a day, again, depending on the severity. Now, this is only one part of the puzzle when it comes to helping with your memory issues with your ADHD. So you should get access to my ADHD memory protocol, and you can get that in the description below. And if you're wanting to have me run these different lab tests for you and other in-depth functional ADHD lab testing that I do with all my patients and clients, then you should book your first appointment with me, and you can do that in the description below. Now, the next biggest thing that contributes to the 71% of memory issues that I do see is vitamin D deficiency. Now, why does this contribute to memory? Well, because vitamin D also plays a critical role as a cofactor for helping with very specific neurotransmitters for helping with memory. And so when you're deficient in that, it's going to contribute to those memory issues. And so when I see my patient deficient in this, I'll have them take vitamin D3 of 5,000 to 10,000 IUs a day, again, depending on severity. And usually I'll only have them do this in the winter as well as fall months. When it's spring and summer, I encourage them to go outside more so they don't necessarily have to do as high of a dose. Now, this next one is probably something that you didn't suspect that could be contributing to your memory issues with your ADHD. But when I run these lab tests, especially if you're 40 or above, I see this creep up time and time again and contributing to why you're starting to have memory issues. In fact, it can be an early indicator of possibly dementia or Alzheimer's disease, and can be a preventative measure if you can catch this early. And that is both serine and choline levels. Now, serine is an important factor for helping with different processes with memory, but choline, on the other hand, is essential for accelerating the synthesis of acetylcholine, which is a very important neurotransmitter involved in memory storage. So if you're finding that you're having issues for short-term or long-term memory issues, deficiency in choline can be a big contributing factor to that. And so the supplementation that I'll recommend, if you're low in serine, I will recommend phosphatidylserine. And I'll recommend anywhere from 150 to 300 milligrams a day, again, depending on the severity. And then if you're deficient in choline, I'll recommend phosphatidylcholine. And the dosage, I'll recommend anywhere from 400 to 550 milligrams a day. So that's 71% of the issues that I see. What about the other 29%? Well, you should watch this video next. That not only does this also contribute to your ADHD memory issues, but I see 90% of people with ADHD low in this specific thing that are contributing to your other ADHD issues that you're probably experiencing. So watch this video next.